Welcome to Press Any Button. Guess what, Nikki?
Guess what, Eric? It's our 50th episode.
Woo!
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Can't you believe it?
We actually made it to 50.
We did.
So you just want to stop doing it after this?
Nah. All right. Well, I'm Nikki.
I'm Eric. And today we're talking about Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Yes, we are.
Disney Dreamlight Valley is a life simulation adventure game. The game has players tend to a magical valley populated by various Disney and Pixar characters who previously underwent a curse that caused them to lose their memory of their lives in the valley.
Bum, bum, bum.
Terrible. The game was released in early access for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox One, and Xbox Series XS on September 6, 2022.
Good job.
Yeah.
That's a good intro. So I have a confession.
What's your confession?
I did not realize this game was actually an early access game.
Yeah.
I
honestly had no idea too.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been seeing people play it online on TikTok, and I don't know. I thought it was like a game that was already released, like officially.
Yeah.
But
I like how we
was wrong.
I like how we joke about playing early access games on an earlier episode, and here we are playing an early access game.
On accident.
On accident.
Yeah. But I will say it has been out for about 5 months now. So it's kind of in the later end of the early access,
Okay.
I would say.
So it's practically released.
Practically. But anyways, are you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's hear it. I assume you have a harrowing story how they managed to obtain the precious Disney IP license.
I do. There was a dog involved.
Ooh,
and
what breed?
And a very strong lumberjack and a princess that sings to birds.
Wow, that sounds pretty involved.
Yeah, it's a Disney story itself on how this game got made.
I assume you're about to go over all of that.
I'm going to try my best. Actually, I'll say since this isn't a game that's officially released yet, like for real, I couldn't really find that much history on it.
What?
I couldn't even find like when they started making this game or anything. So
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I'm going to go with what I have, but I will say I think a lot of what I have will be more in the future section because that kind of is the only place you can go for this game that's not released yet. So
Yeah, I got you. So we don't have much of a past yet, mostly
Not
because all the interviews that will describe the past haven't happened yet since it's still
Exactly.
in the early stages.
But I will say, so as you mentioned, this was first made available September 6th, 2022. The game is developed by Gameloft Montreal and published by Gameloft. So I guess maybe that's the US one. The other one has Montreal after it. So something's got to be different between the two, right?
It's a great mystery of why those two are different. I assume one is a subsidiary of the other one.
Yeah,
or
of
whatever.
course. The game is directed by Nicholas Mainville, who has also worked on games such as Watch Dog and Watch Dog 2. Have you heard of those or played those?
I've heard of them. I've never played either of them.
He worked at Ubisoft for about 9 years before coming over and working for Gameloft Montreal. He also worked on Just Dance 3
Oh, nice.
and Source Code. Have you heard of that one?
No.
And a whole bunch of other games. Like, he's a veteran. He's
Okay.
definitely worked his way up. I looked at his LinkedIn. And it's like, yeah, he started out as like a level designer, and then now he is the director and creative director of Disney Dreamlight Valley. So
Cool.
So he definitely knows what he's doing, and it sounds like he's worked on like a big variety of games. So I think that what he's done so far is really good for this game. But yeah, so Disney Dreamlight Valley is set to actually be a free-to-play game, and it's supposed to be released sometime this year.
Yeah, I saw that. So I couldn't find a specific date for it.
They haven't said yet.
Okay.
But
definitely this year. Definitely
they
won't get
said,
delayed.
and if you look at the FAQ on their site, it says that it'll be in early access a minimum of 6 months. And so March 6th, which is, well, tomorrow from when we're recording this, would be the 6 month mark.
So you heard it here. It will probably come out tomorrow, which will be in the past.
March 6th. But yeah, that would be the minimum, they said. And they were like, it just depends on how fast our team can work, how many changes we need to make, how many bugs they need to fix, stuff like that. So far it sounds like they're keeping it open to staying in early access for a little bit longer until they feel good about, I guess, having everything done.
Okay. I assume they're going to add like way more characters and like items and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I'll get more into that when we talk about the future stuff. But that's kind of like all I have so far of like the history. It's not that great, but hopefully once the game is like officially released and stuff, maybe they'll go back and talk about like how long they've been working on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In interviews.
I gotcha.
But yeah, I read a bunch of interviews, and it was mostly about the game now and then like what was going to happen in the future. So I do have some fun facts though.
Nice.
You want some fun facts?
Yeah, let's do fun facts.
All right, fun fact number 1. This game marks Pat Carroll's final performance as Ursula, because she sadly passed away in July of 2022, about a month before the early access was released.
Yeah, that sucks.
And she's sort of like a legend, you know. She has been doing the voice of Ursula for a long time. And so I guess now, you know, we'll have to have someone else do it. But
yeah, I
R.I.P. Pat Carroll. Fun fact number 2.
That was not that fun of a fact.
It was more of a trivia, you know.
Yeah,
and,
no, that's fine. I'm just saying. I didn't know we were doing sad facts.
Sorry, it gets funner.
All right.
Or it gets more fun from here. All right. Fun fact number 2. Certain text in the game is written in the language of Atlantean from Atlantis, the Lost Empire. Do you remember that Disney movie?
From Atlanta, the Lost...
Atlantis.
Oh, Atlantis.
Like the underwater city.
Okay. So, wait, the dialogue was written in that language?
Some of the text in the game is written in the language from that movie.
So, like, some of the scribbles you'll see on the wall or, like, in some of the books or something?
Yeah, the memories.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, the memories.
Yeah. Fun fact number 3. So, you know how in Disney movies and now, I guess, in Pixar movies, they like to kind of hide, like, the shape of Mickey's head in things like wallpaper.
Wait, what?
Or
they like to hide his head shape?
Yeah, like, you know, just that iconic shape that's like the Mickey shape, like the 3 circles put together.
Okay, so
basically.
yeah, the circle for the head and then the 2 circles for the ears.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how, I guess maybe you don't know, but Disney does love to hide that into their movies.
Yeah, that makes sense. They would.
Unexpected ways, yeah. And so I guess it would be no different for this game. So if you actually pay attention, sometimes you can see the shape of Mickey's head like in the clouds in the sky.
Oh, so he's a cloud in this game.
A cloud.
He's not only in the game, he's also a cloud in the
floating
game.
around in the sky. But yeah, just pay attention. Like, you might be able to find the shape in more places. But I saw a picture online where it's like definitely a cloud that's Mickey's head.
Yeah, that's one thing I have not done in this game. Just like look straight up and kind of stare at the clouds.
Yeah.
I guess I could
there's
have.
a lot of stuff to do, so I get it. But now
Yeah.
you need to pay attention.
And also the camera is kind of like looking down a little bit on your character. So
Yeah, and it's a little tricky probably to get a picture, but you could probably work it. Get it right.
yeah, like a selfie.
Be the best selfie ever.
Oh, God.
But yeah, that's all the fun facts I have.
Okay, cool.
And from here, I guess, would you want to just go over the story real quick?
I wrote a lot about the story.
Well, obviously the story's not finished yet, so we can't really give you any really bad spoilers.
Yeah,
because like the game hasn't even been released yet.
Oh,
so
yeah. I was gonna say like I was gonna do maybe a spoiler warning at the top, but like
a light spoiler.
Yeah, I would say the story is not like super in depth, and the characters, you can see all the characters who are in the game in like the main menu just by pausing the game.
Yeah.
So we
and
can't
then
really
the ads and stuff too.
So we can't really spoil like the characters because they're like right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think we can spoil too much about this game.
Cool. So do you want to just do a brief overview of the story real quick to give people an idea of like if they're going to play this game?
Okay. Yeah. So the very basic story is that you're trying to get away from the hustle and bustle of the big city,
Yeah.
where you obviously live, and you go out to the country and to your old house, and you fall asleep in your backyard, and you wake up in Dreamlight Valley. The valley used to be full of all the Disney and Pixar characters, but then everyone collectively forgot about it and left because the place kind of became a dump. Yeah, you know, you have all the night thorns that kind of grew up everywhere.
And they refer to this as the Great Forgetting, right? Or the Forgetting.
I must have skimmed over that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess they call it the Forgetting,
Yeah.
according to Nicky.
When you talk to the characters, if you don't just speed through all the text real quick and not read it, like some people I know,
What, me?
they do refer to it as the Forgetting a lot.
Okay. So that
You
word
should
comes
know
up a
that.
lot. That's a main buzzword.
Buzzword. Okay.
Yeah, so it's up to you to remind all the characters that Dreamlight Valley still exists and that they should come back by inflicting violence upon them.
Oh my God. No, you do not. There's
Okay.
no violence in this game.
You know, when we go into the pros and cons section, I'll have something to talk about. Yeah, there's surprisingly a lack of violence in this game. You just talk to them and do
I
stuff for
know.
them.
People were probably expecting hardcore violence when they picked
They
this
will
game.
be sorely disappointed.
There's not even any blood.
Not nearly enough.
You're ridiculous.
So also your character can like do magic and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you just magic away the thorns.
Night thorns.
Yeah, night thorns. And you have a bunch of magic tools for like mining and gardening and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Breaking up all those rocks and watering your plants.
Yeah. So you're basically just making Dreamlight Valley a nice place to live again
Yeah.
and helping people remember their lives and stuff.
Without inflicting any violence on
No
anyone.
violence whatsoever. Unless you count the violence towards mining those gems, because, man, you do have to hit those rocks pretty hard.
Yeah. That's violent. That's a form of violence. Kinda, I
Yeah.
think. Right?
Pickaxing. Rocks. So violent.
All right.
So do you want to go over some pros?
Yeah.
Some things you like about this game?
I got some stuff written down.
I have a question for you, though, Eric.
Okay.
So I know this is probably not a game that you'd ever pick on your own, right?
Correct.
What is your just overall feeling?
It's a mixed bag. There are things I thought the game actually did really well and things I thought it was pretty lacking.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Do you regret all the time you've spent playing
No.
this game?
I don't regret it. To me, it feels like it is an early access game. And a lot of what my cons are, I feel like they could fix maybe by
Yeah.
the time it's officially released. Except, you know, it's going to be free to play when it officially releases. So I guess they're thinking that most of their income is going to be coming from microtransactions in the game world. Which, I don't know. Hopefully the game won't actually get worse when it releases. That's a possibility too.
Yeah. Ugh.
But yeah, do you want to share one of your pros?
Sure. So I think this game is pretty fun so far. There's definitely things that need to be fixed and like updated. So, you know, Gameloft, if you're listening, we've got all the answers right here. We're about to tell you. Just listen to us. We'll fix all your problems. I'm just kidding. But the first thing I like, obviously, is probably why most people got this, is Disney. And I haven't played a Disney game probably since I was in elementary school. So it looked fun. I love cozy games And I haven't played that many, but I really liked Animal Crossing, so I figured that I would probably like this one, and I do. But yeah, it's Disney, so you've got like a lot of your favorite characters are in this game, or like at least characters that you grew up with knowing. I will say there's villains in this game too, so it's not all characters you necessarily liked.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird
but
thing.
it's kind of an interesting dynamic in this game.
Yeah, I kind of had that too. I was gonna say the Disney IP in itself is gonna definitely be a big draw, and it's probably like one of the game's biggest strength is how it kind of focuses on the Disney characters.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the game is trying to build your friendship with all the different characters, because a lot of the stories are kind of unlocked or locked behind, getting your friendship to a certain level, and it's actually pretty easy to progress the friendship through like the hangout system and giving gifts and stuff.
Yeah. And I like that they have classic Disney characters, but they also have new characters. They have Pixar characters.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big Pixar person, probably more than even Disney. But like all of my favorite characters are actually here at the beginning.
Okay, so you don't even need them to add anymore. So
yeah, they don't even need to. Look, I've got a Buzz Lightyear tattoo. I've got Buzz Lightyear. That was so exciting for me. I've got a Little Mermaid tattoo. Well, I haven't unlocked Ariel yet, but I know she's there.
She's somewhere in this game.
Yes, at the beginning.
That's gonna be weird when,
like.
Because Ursula is already there. She
It's
unlocks
so
pretty early.
awkward.
It's gonna be super awkward because I am going to put her house right next to Ursula's. Or whatever.
Ooh, Eric's causing the drama up on his island, or I guess it's not an island, up in your valley.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super fun. Just like all the characters still have their lives like outside of the valley, obviously. So it's not like they forgot. It's not like they're swiped clean. They still have their personalities. They still come from their different lands and stuff like that. And for the most part, the characters are pretty true to their characters in the movies and stuff.
They all want to move in and be your best friend and next door neighbor.
Exactly.
They're all ready to go. One of the things I liked is the fact that I can have my own game world that's separate from Nicky's.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that I have to list that as a pro, but after Animal Crossing New Horizon essentially limited me to being a weird secondary character on your island. Like, I appreciate that other games aren't necessarily following that trend.
Me too. I hate that.
Yeah.
Because even now I'm like, oh yeah, I would like to start over and like play Animal Crossing again and like do a totally different island. But I can't, because that would require me to delete all of the stuff I've already done, and I don't want to lose everything I've already done.
Either that or get an entirely second Switch and an entirely second copy of the game.
Yeah. But yeah,
ridiculous.
It's awesome that you can have your profile and you can have your game and your whole valley separate, so you can like put your houses and decorate it however you want.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I can have mine, and we don't have to be like just living in the same valley.
Exactly. I don't have to be player 2. I can actually progress the main story events.
Yes. I like that there's a lot of customization options in this game. Like there's a lot of clothes that you can buy, that you can earn, etc. So you have a lot of outfit options. You have a lot of furniture options that you can either collect or buy. You can change the layout of your valley. It's kind of pre-set up in a certain way, but when you're putting down houses or you're putting down furniture, you can pretty much move anything you want around. Like you can move the trees and the bushes and all that stuff if it's like in your way. And you can move like the houses that are already there too.
Oh, okay.
If you don't want
so you
where
can
they put them.
Move creepy Mickey's house way far away.
Yeah,
from
and you can move your house too if you want to move it somewhere else.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Once you've unlocked more areas,
Yeah. So yeah,
on the map.
You could really probably get into the customization if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. You can either even like create your own clothing options. I haven't done it yet, but in the wardrobe section, there's like a way that you can create your own designs in there. So you can have really customized stuff.
Cool. And one of the things I liked was that the gameplay is very straightforward.
That's true.
The NPC Disney characters give you tasks to do. The tasks show up in your quest list, spelling out exactly what you need to like gather, cook, or craft, or whatever.
Yeah, it's great.
There might be something left a little vague, but you're usually given enough clues to figure it out pretty easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very straightforward doing the stuff.
Yeah, and considering at some points in the game you might have 10 different tasks happening at one time.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I have like a whole
if you've talked to
list.
all of your village, like all of the people I keep wanting to say it like Animal Crossing, but if you've talked to all of your valley and your neighbors, usually they each have a task for you to do. So
yeah, every single character has their own like quest lines and stuff like that.
Yeah, so if you're not one that's like, okay, I'm gonna finish this task before I go talk to anyone else, you're probably going to have a bunch of tasks going on at one time.
Yeah.
And there's like no way you would be able to remember all of it without the handy dandy task list that pops up on the interface.
Yes. Thank God for that.
And it allows you to track which tasks you want to do too. So if there is one that you're working on, you can pin it to the screen and it'll show that one.
And just kind of keep the directions up on your screen and stuff.
Yeah. There's lots to do in this game. You know, I can put in many hours into this game and still have things to do. If you're a completionist, you'll be working for a while because there's a lot of things, a lot of goals and like little trophies that you can earn in this game. But yeah, you can like garden, you can mine, you can cook, you can fish. You can take selfies. You can take pictures.
You can do fashion. You can dress yourself.
Yeah, there's just a lot of different things that you can do in this game, and it can just like keep you really busy.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can really get into the nuts and bolts if you want.
Oh yeah.
Like I could spend a lot more time than I've currently spent on it. Yeah, just customizing things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something I want to play around with more. Is just like turning my valley into something that looks more cool.
Yeah, I gotcha. And that is a cool feature.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, this game has one of the best item storage systems that I've seen in a game like this.
Yeah.
I was actually really impressed by it. There are a lot of items that you'll need for like recipes and crafting, and obtaining some of these items can be a bit tedious, although it's not too bad. Like
it depends on what it is.
Like if you're growing crops, like you don't have to wait like an entire day or something. They'll be ready within like an hour or maybe 30 minutes or something. Usually.
It depends on what plant it is.
Yeah, it kind of depends on the plant.
Some of them take a lot longer, like 4 hours, but you know, it's still not that bad.
I gotcha. But yeah, while your character inventory itself isn't really that big, so yeah, you would usually think that you would need to get rid of stuff and sell stuff to free up room. But fortunately, you can store stuff at your home, like in chests and fridges, and adding storage space is as simple as buying another piece of furniture to store stuff in, and the furniture is pretty cheap.
Yeah.
But what this game does like so well is that everything that is in your storage at your home is treated like it's currently in your storage when you're walking around doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't actually have to bother to go back to your house to like cook or craft with an item that you have stored. It will just recognize that your item is there, which is really nice.
Yeah, I have that too, because the stuff that you want to carry with you is like the stuff that you need immediately. But if it's a crafting supply or an ingredient, then you can still use it no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that at first until you told me, and then I was like, oh, yes.
Well, I didn't realize that
That's
at
a
first
game
either.
changer.
Yeah.
Because I kept selling off stuff, and then I'm like, then I would need it, and I was like, now I have to spend, an hour mining for this gem or whatever.
Except some quests do require that you obtain the item as part of the quest. So for some quests it doesn't matter. They still require you to obtain it after you've gotten the quest for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, for other things where it just requires the items for crafting or something, it makes it a lot quicker.
Yeah, if you're just trying to make a new piece of furniture.
Yeah.
Or something or cook a meal.
But yeah, the other part of the inventory system that I really like is the fact that clothing and furniture don't take up space in your inventory. They exist kind of in their own tabs, and you never have to worry about running out of room for them.
Yeah, you never have to worry about how many clothes or how many pieces of furniture you have.
Yeah, so I like that fact a lot too.
Yeah, because at first I was like, what the heck is happening? Because it gave you like enough storage for what, like 24 items, and then to add another line, it was like, was it 5,000?
Yeah, it was like 5,000.
And then the next line was like 20,000.
Yeah.
And then the next line was 50,000. I was like, holy crap, that's a lot of like money just to get some more extra storage. But yeah, now that I know that you can just buy like freezers or like clothing chests or like just like regular storage chests.
I have 6 fridges in my house.
Oh my gosh, here. I have like chest, a fridge, and a clothing what is it called?
Armoire?
Armoire, yeah, like an armoire.
Okay. Or a clothing chest, either one is fine.
I also like that this game kind of focuses on building relationships with your neighbors and your Disney and Pixar friends. So pretty much the game won't move forward in some cases unless you're like a certain level of friendship with a certain amount of your neighbors.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to build your friendship. You can just like give them a gift. If you really want bonus points, you can give them one of their favorite things, which changes every day.
My favorite things change every day.
Yeah,
too, so
or you just like ask them how their day is, or ask them to hang out with you.
Yeah, I feel like having them hang out with you is probably the easiest and quickest way for them to gain friendship points or whatever, or levels.
And I like that like you can assign each friend with a special kind of like talent, I guess, or whatever. So like for me, you know, I have Mickey set as mining. So whenever I mine and I have Mickey hanging out with me, he'll occasionally just throw out like an extra gem or an extra like whatever when you're mining.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So if you know you're looking for like a certain fish or a certain gem or something like that, I like that you can pick certain like neighbors to hang out with you, and that like, kind of gives you like a bonus.
Yeah,
it's very helpful.
I do like the hangout system. I think back to how it is in Animal Crossing, where they just kind of like show up at your house and you can't get rid of them. In this game, it's like, yeah, they'll just kind of follow you around, and then they'll gain friendship by whatever thing you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like they just really want to see you do stuff.
But if you want them to go away, you just say, okay, bye. And then they just go off and do their own thing.
Yeah. Or you invite someone else to hang out with you. And,
exactly.
And then the other guy's like, okay, thanks. That was fun. Bye.
Yeah, no hard feelings. Do you have anything else?
No, that's pretty much all I got.
One last thing that I really think is great about this game is just the interface itself. Like how all your data is set up and stored is really nice. So if you can't remember your quests, or you just want to look at your quests in a list, like you go to the interface and you have all these tabs, so you can see your Dreamlight tab, like how much Dreamlight you have, what task you can do to earn more Dreamlight, and then you have a tab for everything you've collected or can collect, and that includes like everything from ingredients to your characters to all the gems and materials that you've found and have. And you can click through there, you can see like all the characters' favorite things. If there's a certain ingredient or material you need, like clay, you can find it and then see what area of the map you can get that resource from. Yeah. Because certain resources come from certain areas of the map. And if you really need like an emerald, you know, and you're just like only searching on the beach or wherever it's not, then like you're just wasting time, right?
Yeah.
So I just like how much information you have within that. And if you ever need to know where anyone's at, like on the map, you can see where all the characters are at, because a lot of the tasks will be like, go talk to Mickey.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to run around the whole entire valley looking for Mickey. You can just go to the map tab and it shows you where everyone's at, and it just saves you a lot of time, you know?
I've had kind of mixed results with tracking people down through the map.
Really?
Yeah, usually if they're outside, then they're no problem. But if they're in a building, I've had it like where, okay, Mickey's in this house, I'll go into his house, and then I'll go into his house and no one will be there. and I'll be like, wait a minute, where'd he go? And then I check the map, and then it will show him like on the other side of the map or something. I'll be like, what the heck happened?
Actually,
And that's happened to me like a number of times where like I went into a building expecting to see a character, and then they just weren't there. And then next time I checked the map, they were just like in a different location.
that actually hasn't happened to me that much, but for the most part, I think it's pretty easy. It's much better than just having to run around and search for someone. Like,
yeah, and I will say,
because your valley ends up getting pretty big the more areas you unlock.
Yeah, I will say that I've usually found them, but
Yeah.
usually they're outside or something.
And also the fast traveling mechanism. I'm glad that they put that in there because, oh my gosh, you would just spend so much time running around without that.
I feel like it doesn't really take that long to run to different areas.
At first it doesn't, but then once you unlock more and more areas of the map, it does start to kind of like become a lot. And especially if you need a certain material that's only like in 2 areas and you're just going back and forth between these 2 areas.
Yeah, I think I know
like,
what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's just, you don't want to waste all that time just running back and forth.
All right. Any other pros?
That's all I got for now. I'm going to keep playing the game, obviously, so I'm sure I'll add more.
Yeah. All right. Time for cons.
Yeah, probably the number one con for me is that the game can get a little repetitive. A lot of the tasks are just having you fetch different things.
Yeah, a lot of fetch quests.
Yeah, fetch quests.
That's actually almost 100% of what the game is, fetch quests.
Yeah, which I don't mind it. Actually, there's something about completing a checklist that is just like, I don't know, ticks off the adrenaline in my brain. I'm like, yes, finish the lists. And it's like, reward, cha-ching, yes, let's do another list. But yeah, sometimes it does get repetitive, especially if like a mineral or like a flower or something is pretty rare and you're just like hunting for it. It's like,
that's a pain.
Urgh. Also, the characters only have so many recorded lines.
Oh, and they say them all the time.
And they just say the same like 3-4 lines over and over again. And it's like, at first it's like, okay, whatever. But then like, you know, after you put some hours in, it's like, all right, like just don't say anything.
Yeah, that's fine. Just shut up.
Yeah, just shh.
So one of my cons was the NPC sleep cycle is really dumb and pointless. So
they should just be awake all the time.
No, I'm not saying that. So yeah, just to explain it, almost all the characters have a specific 4-hour time frame at night when they are asleep. This wouldn't be a problem except that while the character is asleep, you cannot interact with them like at all. So you can't interact, you can't complete quests, you can't even go inside their house. Mm-hmm. The exact time a character sleeps is always going to be the same every single night. That means that if you only have like a period of time at night to play the game, there's some characters that are always going to be asleep and you can't interact with them.
Yeah, so if you're someone that always plays games at night, it's like you get off work and that's what you got, or you're a parent and you're like, okay, kids are asleep, let's play some video games. If you're always playing, like say from 8 to 10 o'clock and Mickey's asleep during those hours, well, you can just never do any quests. Yeah. And you can never progress your relationship with Mickey.
Yeah.
Like it was your relationship level.
It was a pain for me because a lot of the times I play video games is at night.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for me, it was Mickey and Moana who are always asleep. And that's kind of a big problem because Mickey is like one of the most important characters in the game.
Yeah, right.
Especially at the very beginning of the game where a lot of the major quests kind of like run through him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's dumb in my opinion to make players have to schedule their time around the game in the first place.
Something I would recommend is if you haven't bought this game yet and you're thinking about playing it, if you have the option to play on a PlayStation or a PC over the Switch, I don't think the Switch is the best console for this game. I think this game is a little too much for the Switch, maybe.
Yeah.
At least for me, because I noticed like it's also might be because I'm not saving my game to the cloud, which you are, right, Eric?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't. I actually did have the game glitch out. Well, it completely froze twice, and then it kind of glitched out in a few other ways.
Yeah, it's glitched out a lot for me to the point to where I had to restart the game. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't even do anything. I was stuck.
Yeah.
And
But-
then like the environment doesn't load that quickly, and like sometimes the characters will just get in like they'll look super creepy because they'll be behind you and their head will just be like glitching back and forth and it looks like a
Ooh.
horror movie.
I haven't seen that
And they
yet.
get stuck like that for a minute until you like move more, and then they finally, like go to follow you.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, just certain things like that, you can definitely tell like this is early access because they still need to fix certain things. There's also like parts in the game where you'll have someone hanging out with you. You're trying to like walk past them, but they won't get out of your way. So essentially you're stuck like in the kitchen in Remy's restaurant, for instance.
Well,
like,
normally you can push the NPCs out of the way, but yeah, in that particular spot, we both had it happen to us where we were like cooking, and then like we went to walk away, and it's like they wouldn't move out of the way.
yeah. So you're just kind of like, I don't know. I found a workaround where you just take your camera out, because usually if you're trying to take a selfie, they'll move to try to get into the picture.
I've actually used
and that was the only way I've found to get them to move in that situation.
I've actually used the selfie means for a couple different instances where I just had characters totally freeze. Like in one case, Merlin just like froze. His character, I had to interact with him and I couldn't, and he was just like not moving. So I just went over with my camera and did a selfie, and all of a sudden he poses and he unfreezes.
Selfie magic.
So you can unfreeze characters by taking a selfie. I guess I could go under strategies.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Well, if you're playing on Switch.
Yeah.
But one cool thing is that I didn't know if you knew this or not, but it's cross-platform saving. So if you start on the Switch but you also have it on PC, you can stop your game on Switch and pick up where you left off on your PC, and like pretty much on whatever you're playing it on.
I gotcha. So yeah, you could move this game over to a console if you want, since you already got it.
Yeah, so that's probably why it keeps asking me if I want to save it to the cloud, and I'm like, no.
But yeah, I'm not sure if the glitchiness is just because the game is early development or if it was specifically the Switch, but
Yeah.
I know it did freeze quite a bit.
I was watching some people play on Twitch today, and they were playing on their PC, and I didn't really see any glitches for them. And I watched for like a good 2 hours while I was working on this podcast. And I didn't see them have any glitches. So I'm like, maybe it's just the Switch not being like the most powerful console.
Yeah, and them designing it more for other machines with more power.
Yeah.
So one of my cons is that the selfies kind of suck.
Yeah.
Speaking of selfies, there are only like 3 poses you can do.
I know.
And you always are in the exact same position in the frame. And you take up like just a ton
Too
of that
much.
frame.
Yeah.
Like 3/4 of the frame. So if you want to do a selfie, it's like you can kind of get someone else in.
And also, why does it always have to be a selfie? Why can't you just take a normal picture every now and then? Like,
yeah, you can only take selfies.
yeah, it's like you can't turn the camera around and just take a picture of like a cool house or whatever.
Yeah, or set the camera up and then like go back and take like a portrait or something.
Yeah.
But,
It's so dumb.
0 stars, selfies suck.
Oh, yeah. Another thing, oh my gosh, I hope they fix this when they release it, but like the vantage point. So in most video games that I've played anyways, that have the, what do you call it, where you can move the camera around?
Yeah.
What is that called?
Just where the right stick is like the camera.
Okay. Well, if you say you're like moving your vantage point around and like a building's in the way, then like the building would just like automatically go invisible, so that it doesn't just obstruct your view of what you're trying to see. And in this game, it does not do that. Like if you move your camera around and there's a tree in your way, well, that tree is just in your way. You better find a different point of view that you want to see things from.
It's really not all that noticeable until you go into one of the forest areas, and then you're like, yeah, I can't see anything because there's so many trees
and like
around.
the forest areas, that's where you gotta find flowers and stuff, and it's just like you're trying to look around for flowers, and you constantly have like trees in your way and stuff, which it sounds really dumb when you say it out loud, but if you've played enough video games, it's just kind of like the go-to automatic default is that stuff should just kind of disappear from your sight at that moment, and they don't have that mechanism in this game yet. So like, I hope they add it, because
Yeah, I'm sure that's
super
not an easy
annoying.
mechanism to program, but it would be nice. I agree.
It would just make life a lot easier.
Yeah, especially in the forest areas. Another one of my cons is that a lot of the realms you end up visiting end up feeling pretty claustrophobic and lonely.
Oh,
Especially when you compare them to the valley where you live, where you have all these people and stuff.
that's true. Most of the realms are like one room or like one island.
A very small area.
Yeah.
And granted, most of the tasks you do in these realms would make a large, complex realm seem like overkill. But it does feel like a bit of a letdown when you're visiting places that these Disney characters and Pixar characters are supposed to inhabit, It's like, oh, this is their world. And then it's like this like tiny area you can explore of their world. It's just like, oh man, that feels kind of like let down. But I mean, I get it, because that's like not the main focus of the game. The main focus is in the valley.
Is in bringing them back.
But it would be cool if they made them more like levels where you could kind of explore and gain stuff from them, from the realms.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. So I think the fast travel could be faster because I don't know. It's just like you have to like say where you want to go, and then you kind of float up into the sky, and then there's like a load screen, and then you load back, and it's like this is a little bit faster than just running. But like if I'm just going one place over in the map, it's just faster to run.
Yeah.
So it's like really the fast travel is only good if you're like going back and forth between two areas, or like you're like on one side of the map and you need to go to the totally opposite side. But yeah, the fast travel could be faster.
Yeah, it's funny when they're first kind of introducing it. I'm like, what the hell is the point of this?
Yeah.
It's like it takes like 2 seconds to run anywhere. But yeah, I do agree. As the valley kind of expands, it is nice to have. I have used it a number of times now.
And when I was watching people play on Twitch today, someone mentioned that I think there's like food or something that you can eat that'll make you run faster. I don't know. I'm going to have to find that out. And I was like, ooh, my ears perked up. I was like, what? There's like things you can do to make yourself faster? That's cool.
Nicky, we'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, we'll get back to you. We'll have to do a part 2 on this game, like when it actually comes out.
Yeah, maybe we can make a bonus episode or something.
Yeah.
So for me, the lack of multiplayer is kind of a bummer. Mm-hmm. It would be really nice, or it'd be really cool if you could visit other people's spaces and have them come visit yours, kind of like in Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
It might disturb the space-time continuum when other people realize that the same Disney NPCs are existing in multiple places at the same time.
True.
But, it would be cool to be able to show off to your friends or have, or see their places.
Yeah. Because some people like really get into it and make their like valleys look just really, really cool.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of the customization should feel like it's something that you can show off. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the purpose, not just to make it like your own space, but to kind of like let your friends see it. So it would be nice if they would let you visit each other's valleys.
Yeah. I will say I'll talk about that more later.
Oh,
so
okay.
Don't get too sad about it.
I was crying up a storm.
So Eric, do you want to like go into some strategy?
I still have some cons.
Oh man. All right. Well, what else? What other cons do you have?
To me, this game doesn't really do much to innovate the life sim genre. One of the reasons I end up comparing it to Animal Crossing so much is because it feels kind of like the same game. It does have some things better and some worse, but I can't really find anything that makes it stand out other than like the Disney IP being incorporated. So basically Animal Crossing, but with Disney characters is this game.
I do think this game focuses a lot more on the friendships that you build with your community.
I mean, it is
Whereas Animal Crossing, you don't really get like that many benefits from like being better friends with your neighbors and stuff.
Yeah. And I'll say that to the game's strength, it does know to focus more on the Disney characters because that is its strength. But a lot of the mechanisms feel like they could be in any other like life sim game. Mm-hmm. It feels kind of like a copy paste type of deal. So I'll say some of the characters in the game feel kind of random, like Scar and Mother Gothel. They don't have any other characters from those universes, so it's literally just like Scar from The Lion King, and not like Simba.
Well, so far.
And not like Simba or Mufasa or Timon and Pumbaa. Also, Scar is a murderer, and you're trying to like get him to be your friend.
Yeah.
which is kind of weird.
I know. We just forget about that little incident.
It's like, all right, we're going to become best friends. You and me, Scar.
Yeah, it is kind of weird having the villains there.
Yeah.
But you just kind of have to go with it because, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it does create, like, diversity with the characters, though, because they're not all just, like, daisies and roses.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm kind of fine with it. But it brings me to my final con, not enough violence.
Oh, my gosh. You want Scar out there just eating everyone.
Yeah,
attacking
he murdered Mufasa. He could murder other people in the valley.
Oh my gosh, that's a whole nother like Disney detective game or something.
Yeah, I feel like you're already investigating one murder with Minnie. I still don't know what happened to her.
Well, you'll find out.
You see her ghost all around the valley. I assume. I drew the connection because there's also what appears to be an urn on
oh my gosh.
Mickey's coffee table.
She's not dead.
And also Mickey sweats a lot.
Oh my gosh.
I get it that they might be interpreted as sparkles, but it looks like sweat sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
And then the way he smiles, man, he looks nervous.
You're just really trying to cause some drama with this game.
He looks very nervous to me.
Spoiler alert, Minnie is not dead.
What?
Yeah, for anyone that thought Disney would kill off one of their main characters.
I feel like she's probably dead.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's hear about your strategy, Nikki.
So I have a good amount of strategy for this game, actually.
Really?
For it to be such a low-key, chill game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you can do that just are helpful, So the first thing I have is, obviously, we already talked about this, so I won't talk about too much, but just having a lot of storage set up in your home so that you can kind of have one of everything. Like, if you pick it up or can grow it or can buy it, you probably need it at some point for some task, even like the random flowers and stuff. So if you can have a stockpile of all that stuff, it'll just make the task so much easier than just gathering everything like task by task. Yeah,
especially as you start adding these new areas that like have their own flora and fauna and plants and stuff.
Yeah.
So one of mine is, one of the first things you want to do when you start up the game is find a friend and hang out with them. Because as long as you're doing tasks, you might as well be getting friendship for them.
Yeah, just always have someone hanging out with you at all times.
There's like no reason not to like...
preferably someone that specializes in the tasks that you need to do for whatever mission you're trying to complete.
Or maybe not. Maybe just someone you want to build friendship with. It doesn't really matter.
Or that too.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it is an advantage if you like are looking for a specific gem or fish and you can get those bonus fish and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super helpful.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, if you're just kind of going around checking off your Dreamlight duties and stuff, just grab anybody.
Anyone.
Yeah.
And say, hey, let's hang out.
And they'll be more than happy just to watch you do random shit.
They will be so excited.
And every time you do some random shit, like they'll have a little heart that goes over their head. And then they'll be, oh man, I'm getting to be best friends with this guy. Watching him dig holes and mine that rock over there.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I have is like use all your tools. Don't forget to take pictures. You get Dreamlight for that. Also, change your outfits. You get Dreamlight for that as well. Just little things you can do to get some extra Dreamlight. And you use Dreamlight to unlock areas of the map. You use it to unlock the doors so you can go to the different realms.
Yeah, to upgrade your tools.
Yeah, you need it for all kinds of stuff. You need it for
everything that lets you progress in this game at all.
Yeah, so it's important to have lots of Dreamlight.
Yeah, and speaking of which, I'll just say, like, always check your Dreamlight duties because those are like the easy ones. Like, they'll always be like a circulating list of things. Mm-hmm. And they're always worth a good amount of Dreamlight. So it's like, just go ahead and check and see.
Yeah, like harvest 3 mushrooms.
Yeah, maybe it was something you were going to do anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. And try to keep those refreshing just because it's an easy way to like keep unlocking stuff. Yeah.
Also, buy and sell as much as you can because you need a lot of currency for this game. Anytime you want to upgrade a building, anytime you want to put someone's house down and open up their house, like, you need money for it. If you want the little stands upgraded, money. Like, Scrooge is charging you for everything.
What a
up
jerk.
in here. So like, yeah. So just sell stuff. And you also get Dreamlight for selling things.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll be like sell fruit or sell 4 vegetables or whatever, and you can get Dreamlight for that. And that's the goal, getting that Dreamlight and getting that money.
So I will say, check your quest list before you attempt to complete a task for someone. Sometimes what you're supposed to do and what you think you're supposed to do aren't the same thing. I've definitely done that where it's like, oh, I just have to cook this dish for someone, and I've gone back and tried to give it to them. I'm like, oh, wait, why isn't that completing? Oh, it turns out I needed to cook 3 of them, and I didn't read that, and I would have read that if I just clicked on the quest.
That's what you get for just like super scrolling through all the text and not really reading what they're saying.
Whatever.
Just trying to get to the nitty gritty and
how I
read
play
the
games.
story. Another tip from me is if you need seaweed, which comes in handy for multiple things. You need seaweed to make fiber, and you need fiber to make rope.
Oh yeah,
and
everything requires rope.
Yeah, you need a lot of things need fiber. Also, the turtles' favorite food is seaweed, so you need seaweed to feed the turtles. And if you need to catch seaweed, the technique is to just aim at the water that doesn't have air bubbles. Because the air bubbles are specific fish. So if you just need random seaweed, you just throw the fishing line out into the random water.
Does that work in any body of water or just the ocean?
It works in the ocean and the ponds and the meadows. And it's not always going to be seaweed. Sometimes it'll be like a basic fish, like a herring or whatever the basic fish is.
Basic fish.
But like a lot of times it'll be seaweed. So just a tip there.
I actually did know that. I had to find that out because, you do need seaweed for a bunch of stuff.
You do. And you need a lot of it too.
Yeah.
Another thing is you can earn Dreamlight from Dream Shards. So like if you go to your crafting table and you have a lot of Dream Shards.
I do. I have a ton of those.
If you have so many of those, you can turn them into Dreamlight.
Oh, yeah.
So you might want to go in there and convert that over.
Yeah. I didn't know there was a conversion for that.
Yeah.
Neat.
Another thing is if you want to earn Dream Shards, it's not as many, but it's a lot more fun. But if you feed the animals, like if you feed the squirrels or the birds or the raccoons, they'll throw out some Dream Shards for you to pick up. And you also can get Dreamlight from feeding certain animals, and you can kind of like turn them into your friends. So if you go to your interface and you look at your, I think it's called Critters or Animals tab, you can kind of like unlock little animal friends.
Yeah,
it checks in. It's like you're a Disney princess.
I've been friends with one animal, and that's a squirrel, and that squirrel follows me freaking everywhere. It's kind of annoying, actually.
I'm friends with like all the squirrels. Dude, the raccoons are hard. Like you kind of have to be very patient. Have you fed a raccoon yet?
No.
You can only walk towards them when they're not looking. So you have to be super sneaky and slow and patient. So it's kind of hard. But like once you feed them, they are your best friends.
Good to know. Raccoons are shy.
Yeah. All right. So I said I would have a lot of things for the future, and I did not lie.
Oh, geez.
So I will go ahead and start. And then if you want to, I don't know what you have for the future.
We already did mine, which is that Dreamlight Valley will release sometime in 2023. I mean.
All right, good. So I already said Gameloft said that this game would be in early access for at least 6 months. So we know the earliest it could be coming out would be like in a couple of days, which I'm pretty sure they would have announced that if that was going to be the case. Hopefully they'll announce it before they just release it. Like,
They'll probably want to build
time to prepare.
They'll probably want to build some hype. So
yeah, exactly.
I assume we're probably not close to seeing a release date.
That's what I think too.
Probably released later, towards the end of the year.
Yeah. So Eric, you'll be happy about this though, because when it is released, they definitely want to have a multiplayer mode.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can play together, or like you can visit people's valleys and stuff and see how they've decorated it. It seems like
it's set up to do that. It just, I guess not implemented yet.
Yeah. In April, the game is set to come out with a new update that will feature a star path based on the Disney parks. If you don't know, Star Pass is a battle pass-like feature in this game that allows players to unlock exclusive items like furniture, clothing, motifs by purchasing tokens or completing duties. So they're gonna have like possibly like the Epcot building, like the big ball looking thing that you could add to your valley, or like certain things from the parks. So they're not just grabbing from the movies, but they're also taking stuff from the Disney parks, which I think is going to be pretty cool, especially for like the hardcore Disney fans. Like they're going to love that.
I feel like Dreamlight Valley already kind of does look like a Disney park in a way.
Yeah, it does. Another thing in April is they're going to have release a new realm and new characters. And it looks like we might be getting Simba. Nice. So it might not just be Scar anymore.
That will make Scar's character make a little bit more sense.
Yeah. It didn't say Simba exactly, but it had a pictures of Simba with that update. So I'm like assuming.
Question, is it young Simba or old Simba?
It looks like older Simba.
Okay. Dang, I kind of want a young Simba. Oh, well. That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. And in early summer this year, they say something will be revealed about the forgetting.
Uh-oh.
So a big story plot point will be
So
revealed.
that story isn't even finished yet.
It's not even finished yet.
Wow.
And we'll be getting a new princess.
Wow, another one?
It says a new princess will be racing in.
Racing.
So I'm like, which princess would be racing?
Was it Penelope? No, Penelope. What's her name from Wreck-It Ralph?
Oh my gosh, yeah, Vanellope.
Penelope.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes, I love Wreck-It Ralph. That would be awesome. Yeah, who else would be racing? Yeah, it has to be her. And then the later half of 2023, Belle is supposed to be added.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a big name.
Which, like, she's on, like, one of the main pictures that you see. And so people are kind of when's Belle coming? When's Belle coming?
I did notice that. I guess I just never put together that she wasn't actually in the game yet.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So there's a lot of characters that they're going to add. When they were asked, like, is there any time frame of, like, when this game might end? It's sort of like one of those games that's just going to, like, keep being ongoing. And the answer was, like, we'll stop whenever people don't want to play it anymore, basically.
Yeah,
so,
whenever...
like, their plan, their roadmap is very long for this game.
Yeah, and of course they don't want to say that they would ever be ending because that's going to cause people to leave the game.
Yeah.
So...
But from what it sounds like, they've got plans to like possibly do future things in tandem with like new movies that are coming out, like possibly feature new characters or like even just do like an outfit release for a new movie or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things they can play with and a lot of things that they can do.
Yeah, I do feel like this is a smart move having this game because it is a world that they can continue to expand upon.
Yeah.
And just that casual setting is going to, attract a lot of people.
Yeah. But for now, that's like mostly what I could find about the future and everything. But yeah, I'm excited for it to be fully released and see how different it is compared to the early access.
Cool. Yeah, good updates.
Yeah. So Eric, everyone's dying to know, did you catch 1,800 fish and mine 1,800 gems to get those trophies?
Not even close.
Do you know how many gems and fish you did get?
I think I broke 100 with either of those.
Oh my gosh, wow. I know I at least have dug 140 gems because I got like a little achievement for it.
I also looked at how rare those achievements were, and it's like 2% or 4% of like the entire population that's played the game. So they're like both like rare and ultra rare achievements.
I mean, Eric, you're supposed to be a master video gamer. Like,
hey, I do not
if
have...
anyone can get those rare trophies, I thought it would be you.
There's not like a crazy strategy to do it. It's just a ridiculous amount of time. I don't have that much time.
Whatever. You got time. You got all the time in the night.
and I'll just preview my rap by saying that it is... I called my character Barf Senior in this game, and Animal Crossing was Barf Junior.
Nice.
And my
I
rap...
called myself Perp because I have purple hair, of course.
Yeah. And my rap is from the same perspective of the character I rapped about from Animal Crossing.
Oh, wow. So meta.
Yeah. So it's like
Can't wait to hear it.
It's part 2 of the Animal Crossing rap.
All right. Let's hear it.
Barf, that's my name, just a player in the game. Lost the claim to my fame, shot a flame from Big D Island. Came to the valley with a cooler full and natty. Now I'm stuck in Goofy Alley at a Scrooge McDuck rally. Now Mickey's sweating bullets, jetting sparkles from his gullet, slipping poison in your mullet with a smile like a fugitive. Minnie's ghost unstable, got her body just a fable. Was her murder a betrayal? Found an urn on Mickey's table. Merlin's high on crack, tracking back to unpack. Horton guns at his shack, whacking like he's playing hacky sack. Goofy's fucking loaded, buying dirt and sand eroded, like his income is encoded, raining gold like it exploded. Now I'm just a man, got a flowy dress that expands, got cat makeup and a van, a minivan and a tan. All these portals are just closets, hoping it starts raining comets. Got no money, got no time, responsible for all the crime. Dreamlight Valley is sublime, but to me, it isn't worth a dime.
Wow. I wanted to hear you do a Disney rap, and I was not disappointed. Although I will say, that's definitely not safe for work, or if you were hoping to let your kids listen to that one, probably not.
It just has a little bit of murder stuff.
You're so edgy.
A couple curse words that are probably for kids, I guess. Yeah, probably not for kids.
You're so hardcore, babe.
I am. A real hardcore person curses in a game that's for kids.
Yeah. Hey, Will Smith doesn't have to curse to sell records, but Eric does.
I do. I'm not as cool as Will Smith.
Yeah. So Eric, do you know what game you're gonna pick next?
Yeah. Do you want to take any guesses?
Oh,
I'll give you a hint. You probably have never heard of this game before.
Well, then I probably don't need to guess. If I it would just be pointless. So
okay,
lay it on me.
All right. So we haven't had a lot of violence in this last couple weeks.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So let's bring back some old school violence. We're gonna do General Chaos for the Sega Genesis.
General Chaos. That sounds like a really good cat name.
Yeah, I think it would be.
Like we could have Dr. Doom and General Chaos. Oh, that'd be perfect duo.
But it's kind of like a war simulator. You have like 5 troops, and you're trying to kill the 5 enemy troops. You'll love it. I can already see your face. You're gonna really enjoy this game.
Oh, you had me until you said war simulator.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'll say the highlight of this game is its co-op. It has probably one of the best old school co-op.
So we need to play it together?
Yeah,
all right.
It's much better when this game is played with a friend.
Cool. What's my challenge going to be?
Your challenge is going to be to beat the first 2 campaigns, either solo or in co-op mode.
Okay, how long are the campaigns?
They're not very long.
Okay, cool.
So this game isn't very long. I think you have to win 3 or 4 battles in a row to beat a campaign. Basically, it's like every time you win a battle, you move to the right of the map. Every time you lose a battle, you go back the other way.
Oh,
and eventually you run out of spots to mark. So a campaign can last a while if you kind of go back and forth between winning and losing.
Oh, no.
But
it's not good for me.
If you were just to win out, it wouldn't take long at all.
All right. Sounds fun. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. I think you'll
Sometimes I get surprised.
I think you'll like the co-op aspect of the game. I don't think you'll like the solo play as much.
Okay, cool.
Just my prediction.
All right. Well, sounds like a challenge.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see everybody next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye. And if you like what you heard, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or rate us on Spotify. And we have a new website, pressanybutton.net. You can leave comments. You can listen to our raps. You can check out all of our social media. Just do so many things. So please go check that out at